Welcome to the Artist Insight. This is Insight number one. My name is Rod Moore and I'm excited that you've joined us for the first ever Artist Insight. And this is where I get to share my thoughts, my ideas, my strategies around marketing art and the business of art. And I'm coming from a perspective of having worked 8 years in marketing, coaching, and mentoring for small business. So I come from a small business entrepreneurship background rather than an artistic background, even though I am an artist and for the last 3 years or so have been developing my artistic abilities, and have recently made the decision that I want to be a full-time artist. But a lot of what I'm going to share with you is a unique perspective that you may not necessarily hear from artists around how to market their art, how to build an art business. Okay, so I think you'll find it interesting, and this website is all about really giving you an insight into an artist actively building their career and starting pretty much as an early stage artist is what I'd consider myself now. I wouldn't consider myself to be an emerging artist. I think I'm really at the beginning stages of developing an art career. Just a little bit of background, I've been dabbling in art for, I guess, since 2007 when I walked into a gallery, the Tate Britain Gallery in London, and I saw J.W. Turner's work and I was mesmerised by it. I stood there in front of all this work and just like, wow, how long has this been going on, right? And I knew in that couple of hours that I spent there mesmerised by his work, I knew that that's what I want to do with the rest of my life. But all these self-doubts, these fears, these beliefs that, you know, the starving artist and all those sort of things kept bubbling to the surface, and over time I started to paint. I started to dabble in painting, a bit stop and start, you know, at various stages of my life. But then in 2011, a few things happened which really made me think seriously about how I want to spend my time. And one of those was my dad was passed away. That was a real defining moment for me because it made me sit back and think, you know, life is short and how do I really want to spend my time? And I had this growing passion and interest in art. I just didn't know how to transition from what I was doing into a full-time art career. So that happened, and then a few other people passed away, and you know, I went through a period of reflection and really considering what the future is going to hold for me. And so I made the decision late 2011, I guess, to really pursue art because that's what my passion is. And I think life's too short to not spend your time doing what you love. So in a short period of time after making that decision, I was able to be a foundational member in setting up a group called the Double Door Studios in my hometown. Got numerous amounts of media, started selling paintings. I think, you know, sold 25 or 30 paintings last year. I'd never sold a painting before in my life. What else did I do? I started an art school, became a qualified teacher in teaching beginners how to paint, and started an art school and began giving classes. And I also approached a TV network about starting a painting show with my wife, and to my surprise they said yes, and within a very short period of time we were on TV with a regular weekly TV show called Plein Air Painting TV, broadcasting in Australia. And you know, that was within a very short period of time, and all of these things happen because of one reason, and this is what insight number one is all about, and that reason is decision. It's about making a decision to become a professional artist and build a art business. Okay, I know that many people go and get an art education through the formal art education system. I didn't do that. You know, I came from a background where I didn't start painting until my late 30s. Or probably even 40, I guess. So I'm a latecomer. I haven't come up through the traditional system of art education, art galleries. I don't know that world, but I do know a lot about the marketplace and the reason why people will buy things like art, and how they'll establish value in their mind about art. So I'm going to share all that with you, but let's get back to the making of a decision. Right? A lot of people who are artists think they've made the decision that they want to be full-time artists, but they don't act as though they're congruent with that decision. So they'd all love to be full-time artists, but the decision you need to make to become a full-time artist really is not so much about the art as it is about the business of art. That's the key, right? If you want to make a full-time living out of art, you need to become an art business as opposed to just being an artist. Now, what that doesn't mean is you have to give up your artistic integrity, that you have to stop painting and focus all your time and energy on marketing and business and so on. But you do need to do some of that, right? You need to have a balance between pursuing your artistic urges and passion with building an art business. So there's a few things that implies. One is that you need to have a focus now on words like, or areas like, marketing, sales, negotiation, the legal issues such as copyright and all those sort of things, administration, finance. All of these things become really important in building a successful art career. Now, what does success mean? Well, it means different things to different people. You'll have your own definition, but to me, it's all about building a successful career is about earning a lucrative income and lifestyle through your passion of art. And I believe that's possible. And you know, what goes on in your own head is a critical determining factor that we'll talk about in future insights. But I believe it's more than possible, that there's an abundance of opportunity out there. And I'll share some of the things that I've come across with you about that abundance. So the key point here is the decision that you need to make. Now, you must make this decision, because let me share some research with you. The other day I was looking on Kevin McPherson's website, great website if you have a chance to go and look at it, and he was referring to a study that was done in 2009 by NAMTA. Okay, and what he was talking about was, you know, it's a crowded marketplace. There's more artists than ever before. There's more coming, and so you need to be at the top of your game in both areas, your art and the art business side of things. According to Kevin's website, there are 4.4 million artists, and the line between professional artist and recreational artists has diminished. You know, like whereas it used to be very clear cut because the traditional approach to selling art was through the gallery exhibition type system. Today, the opportunities have opened up to all artists to be able to have access to the marketplace to sell their art through online technology. So the line has diminished. There are currently 4.4 million artists. I think those are just American statistics too. If you throw in the rest of the world, maybe that doubles. There are 600,000 professional artists and 600,000 college students taking art classes right now at the time of this study. Okay, comparing that with an engineer, in 2008 there were 1.6 million. So there's 3 times as many artists as there are engineers, right? Yet artists earn the lowest income of any profession. I think if you to do that research. In fact, I'll do that research in the future. The art market's growing, and you know, again, according to Kevin's website, each professional artist produces about 75 pieces of artwork per year, and recreational artists about 36 pieces. Now, and there's a clue right away, right? If you want to move from recreational to professional, there's a clue for you. However, the important point is 4.4 million artists producing that volume of work means a lot of artwork out there. You need to be at the top of your game to break through the clutter, to get attention, to start to build a following, to build a marketplace for yourself. You need to be at the top of your game, and that requires you making the decision to not just be an artist, but to be in the art business and to act like you're in the art business and to put together a marketing plan, to understand how to sell art and to not have fears around sales and negative belief systems around that, to operate from a place of abundance rather than scarcity. Okay, there's a lot to this. Through the Artist Insight website, my goal is to coach you and mentor you through the process of becoming a professional artist in the art business. So I hope this has been of value for you. Now, if you want to find out more about what we're doing, drop by theartistinsight.com. You'll find the address underneath the video here. And while you're there, grab a copy of our Artist Marketing Blueprint so you can start to learn more about how do you put together your marketing system for your art. I really believe that of all the business considerations around art, you know, an art business, marketing is the key, right? You need to get your marketing systems in order to break through the clutter of other artists out there and the volume of work that's out there. And you know, this is possible to do. So don't be disheartened by those numbers. There are some artists who have incredible abundance and wealth that they've created through their art. Think of Thomas Kinkade or Damien Hirst or Weiland, and I'm gathering a list of extremely successful artists to demonstrate that yes, there are starving artists, but there's also what I call the abundant or wealthy artist as well, who are getting rich by enriching the world with their art. Right? You could be that person as well. So hope you've enjoyed this. Drop by our website and look out for the next Insight update coming to you soon. Cheers.